We'll rise for the flag salute. Are we on?
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I hate this. Okay. Did everybody have a chance to go over the minutes?
We did. I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Should that be new minutes presented?
Presented in the current form.
Yeah, on my current website.
Because we have two separate sets too.
Oh, okay, this is,
Correct.
yeah, the minutes from last week. Let's do the minutes from last week, and then we'll do the ones.
Move to,
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the minutes as written. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed 3-0. Okay, then we have another set of minutes from the week before, which I didn't get a chance to I had circled those. I can't remember what part that was.
It was the very first underneath the county counselor on the second page.
Oh,
Or-
yeah.
The second page actually, the front, under the county counselor report, it was that first paragraph.
Okay.
Basically that Counselor Henderson told the board that the check previously mentioned in the condensation case with Westar Energy did cover the taxes, however, it did not cover the special assessments that were due to the county. Counselor Henderson was going to speak with client in regards to this.
Okay, that reads correct now. So, do I hear a motion to accept the minutes from Tuesday, September 19th?
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Pass 3-0. Okay. Okay. Any commissioner comments and committee reports?
yes, I was involved in a meeting last week with the operations vice president of Tyson Foods and their community, local government chairman. They're both from Springdale, Arkansas. Talked a little bit about what was going on in northeast Kansas in regard to the possibility of a plant located somewhere in this region. One thing I did learn is that they're completely vertical, so they'll contract, you form a contract with with Tyson's to have grow houses. They determine where on your property they can be. They have very stringent offset requirements, so that would eliminate any need for zoning or anything within the county. They would control that. Evidently, they control a lot of the whole process of production. They provide the checks, they provide the feed. The only thing the farmer provides is the houses and the care, of course. But they said a farmer could easily go to the bank, borrow $1 million just with a contract in their hands. So that could be a positive thing if some of that happened in this area. What I was most pleased about, it wouldn't require any zoning in our area because they would control the offsets and all the property.
They mean Tyson?
Tyson, yeah.
Okay.
So in other words, if you're going to grow for them, they're going to tell you what the offsets are of your property, where you could put the houses. So if you had a house here and the property line was there, someone couldn't decide to put it next to you. They'd have to be put somewhere on the property. The Deputy Agriculture Secretary was there. He says their regulations are much more stringent than the Department of Agriculture's requirements. So it sounds like it's a win-win if, and I think a lot of people are concerned, hey, we could zone our county, and now we wouldn't have to zone the county because we'd already had those regulations controlled by the grower or the producer. So I thought that was pretty interesting. As far as Atchison as a target, it's probably a long shot that they would ever come here. The ideal thing would be, though, that they might be in our area where we have our farmers have an opportunity for additional income and more market for the grain in this area. So hopefully they don't move to central Kansas instead of northeast Kansas. So just see there, so.
That was my suggestion, that if they don't do it here, if we could pair with another county nearby, that we could share part of that infrastructure.
Sure, absolutely.
That was my,
So I think it would be a long shot for Atchison County, but being in the region, maybe it's not a long shot. So,
I don't even think that's gonna be, I think it's gonna go west, Concordia, and probably end up out there.
my guess is Leavenworth, but
I don't know, I think they kinda got
Well-
hard feelings over Leavenworth's decision, but. I don't
you know,
know.
the thing is, they have to have a workforce.
Mhm.
They have to have a community that's, supports them. And as a corporate, someone who I lived near them in Arkansas, and they were great corporate citizens. So they'll donate to schools and projects and lots of things in the area if they were here. But I thought it was an interesting meeting. There's discussion, but there's nothing. Nobody has to be for or against it because there's not that much information.
I'm just curious, how did you know about the meeting, and I mean, who did you participate?
Mr. Epley, wasn't it? Set it
Well,
up.
Senator, it was a Representative Epley, the city manager. You see, I'm trying to think of all the people were there. There's 2 people from Tyson's, the Secretary of Agriculture, several. I believe Karen Seberg was there. Rick Berger was there. The usual suspects that were there were invited. So he called me up and invited me, so I went. So
Okay, did you have anything on the Solid Waste Committee?
the Solid Waste Committee met today. We saw some reports about what both Waste Management / Deffenbaugh, because they merged, and Hams. I thought the meeting went well. I thought there was lots of information. They had a proposal. Lots of people did an analysis of the cost, and then there was a final analysis of saving about $35 a load, I think, with one or the other. But I would wait till we let Stacy present that. I don't want to
Step on her
step
message.
on her thunder and her accomplishments. So.
I just thought that it was worth mentioning that, when we participate in these boards, that we kind of tell that we've been doing the process.
Yeah.
Did you have anything?
No, like Commissioner Bauer said, I thought it went very well. I would have liked to see more solid waste board there. I think today was a crucial meeting for them not to attend, but having said that, those that was there.
Okay, I had no meetings this week, so. Okay, Peggy, are you ready to come on
We have a
up?
purchase order to be made. I think we've talked once before, we're working on some more pieces on the roof and Brian's been struggling with them, so we have found a coating that we think will do it. Things are coming through on where the air conditioner is attached to the roof. So this is a coating. He feels confident that this is going to do the job. We've gotten several bids of doing it in different directions. So this is a company called Troy Air Coatings, and they're in Missouri, so it's not local. I don't have anybody that does this locally, but I'd like to proceed with a piece on our front roof and a piece on the back roof where we have leaks all the time, no matter what they've done. We can't seem to fix it. So seems like a good quality product.
Okay,
Coating that they put over it.
total order, no, dollar figure is $9,173.
Was this requested?
No, but I've got enough money to cover it.
Okay.
I would move to approve the purchase order for $9,173. Troyer Roofing and Coating in Jamesport, Missouri would be doing the work.
Okay, it's been moved.
Second that, Mr. Chairman.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Passed 3-0.
Now, one last thing, Eric is an e-signer on our Medicare, I've had him do that, but we need a hard copy of the signature too, so. I can-
Did everything go through? I had a call
Yeah.
from your,
And then there's another, this one has to be submitted too, so, then we'll have it all done.
does this need approval or
No,
just?
I just need your signature, saying that you're the chairman.
And, right, just mine,
Telephone number, yeah,
and want my telephone number there too?
yeah, your
Have to
telephone
have a
number.
motion to authorize the chairman to sign this or not?
This is just a continuous of the e-signature.
Right.
Okay.
Home phone or?
I'm guessing, or you can put the commission phone too, it's fine.
I'd put the best one to get in touch with you.
Okay. Pass that back.
That's all I needed. That's it.
Here's the PO. I don't know if Michelle needs a copy of that or
She
not.
probably does.
Let's have her come in and see if she needs it before you
All right.
take off. Might save you a trip.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. Do we have Stacy next then? So, all right. Come on.
115.
Well, you come on up and get ready. Probably wait to present till she gets in here.
Okay.
We can be chatting as far as that goes.
She's not on
Let's-
the agenda, but
Questions from this morning?
No. I thought the very good board.
Very well.
Yeah, I thought the meeting went very well this morning.
The presentations were good.
I liked all three of the gentlemen that presented.
Mhm.
Which kind of really puts you in a good situation because even if you don't make, I mean, neither choice is a bad choice. So you've got two good choices. So.
Mhm.
well, something like that. Do we have a better used car salesman on one side than the other? I
Hmm.
mean, I was impressed with the facility, and then he had you come down and look at it, and that he was very proud of it. To me, that shows they're really dedicated towards recyclables, and they're going to get as much of our stuff recyclable as they can.
Mhm.
He's going to executive session.
Okay. That was my opinion.
Let's wait till Michelle gets caught up, and then we'll be ready
I'm
to.
sorry.
No, that's.
That's okay.
Hang on down here then. Okay.
We're asking you to do multitask here.
Do you want me to stay or do you, I can come back if you need me, but you may not need me.
Is that just something that just kind of preliminary
We need to go into executive session during client.
for that? But do we need Peggy here?
Probably be better, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right, after the presentations this morning and the meeting this morning, the Atchison County Solid Waste Management Committee recommends that I suggest to you that we go with the bid from Ham. It had lower fees and they also suggested that it be a 5-year, which is what we put out bid specs for, but they suggested that we cap the increase at 3%. They call it a COLA increase, and they suggested that we cap that at 3% in the contract. It
Okay.
was unanimous with 7 of the 10 members there in voting.
Okay.
There were 7 there today?
Well, counting me and him,
Oh.
yes.
Okay.
So is there any more discussion, or do we have? We did discuss it in workshop this morning, but
I would make a motion to accept the contract from Hams
On the advice of the solid waste.
for the recommendation of the Solid Waste Committee.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded to accept Ham's bid. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Pass 3-0.
That's all I have.
Nothing to sign yet?
No, it'll take at least a week, maybe two, since the conferences starts today.
I thought maybe there's an initial agreement paper or something to get them.
No, Pat and I have kind of discussed it a little bit already, and whenever I get something, I'll get it over to Pat, and the final negotiations are supposed to be done October 17th, so we've still got 2 weeks for that.
Okay.
But that doesn't start till January 1.
January 1.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You get your truck in yet?
No. Yeah.
Should be getting close.
I would think. He told me he'd let me know. Thank you. Have a good
Thanks.
day.
How long of an executive session are we going to need? 10 to 15 minutes going to do it?
Yes,
And which one is it gonna be, Pat?
attorney-client.
Very good.
Do I hear a motion? Well, let's.
Gotta
Whoever
read
wants to
that.
read it?
I move that the Board of County Commissioners recess an executive session at 2:19
One.
119.
1:19 for consultation with the attorney for the public body, which is deemed privileged to the attorney-client relationship as allowed by K.S.A. 75-4319B, parentheses 2, and the purpose of closed session is to protect the confidentiality of discussion, and the board comes out of executive session at
1:35.
1:35 in the commission room, first floor of the courthouse. Those present will be 3 county commissioners, county councilor, and Peggy House, director of Atchison Cedar Village.
It's been
I'll
moved.
second that, Mr. Chairman.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Pass 3-0.
We are now.
We're
Yes.
on
No
135.
action taken?
Okay, come on up.
The girl from Yuma.
Good memory.
I thought you were going to say Iwo Jima.
No, she's actually, believe it or not, ended up being a friend of mine from Wyoming. So,
Right.
and they grew up in Yuma, Colorado.
Here's some more trivia. Patrick and I went to college together at Benedictine.
Tell us,
Just a second,
tell
Michelle.
us the story.
Teresa.
Tell us the story.
Well, I just minimized
No
it.
specific
Oh.
stories.
We're
Oh.
still
She's
recording.
my queen, right?
Okay, I just.
She is
Thank
one
you.
of
Homecoming queen.
Okay.
And I was visiting my grandma in Norton, Kansas. Do you guys know where that is?
I know her. Then.
And she loved Pizza Hut, and we always went there. And we went there, and she was there.
We were
Had
driving back
stopped,
from
like-
Yuma to Atchison, and we saw them in Norton Pizza
Norton,
Hut.
Kansas, yeah.
Oh, if you would like to, you can sit here. I don't know how
Oh,
far the
sure.
keyboard will actually go.
Yeah,
so
do you
I'm gonna,
mind?
no, I
Thank
Did
don't.
you know
I'm gonna
her,
sit over here.
her dad played basketball at BC, or at
My father-in-law
a father-in-law?
played and then coached, taught and coached at Benedictine.
Was it Tom?
Yeah, and I bet, do you remember? Tom
Well, Ralph was
Caldwell
a coach. He was the
Sr.
assistant coach.
Right, yeah.
Ralph Nolan was a coach when I
Right.
went to St. Benedict's.
Mhm.
The
Oh, sorry.
founding
Yes.
institution of Benedictine, but
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so gentlemen, I'm Joni Caldwell,
Mm-hmm.
Commissioner Bauer, Commissioner Knoll, Commissioner Pohl. How do we counsel?
Patrick?
Patrick, thank you for letting me be here today.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure if you were on the council when I addressed the council or the commission last year.
Yes.
Yes.
I was here
yeah.
a year ago.
Mhm.
You weren't,
Oh,
Jack,
yeah.
but now you are. So this is actually it's an issue that's being revisited. And let me bring you up to speed. Now, how's there okay, so I need to sign in. I have some pictures and some documents to show you, so. Okay, and then I just don't know how to, since there's not a
there's a
mouse.
mouse right there.
Oh, thank you.
And it's
And
sometimes
are you
it's-
left-handed?
Well, no, it's just sometimes the further away you get from the actual motor, it doesn't
Okay, here,
actually
you
pick
click
up
on
very
next
well. I'm
one,
actually
please.
going to
You're- Oh, okay.
Hmm?
You're fine.
Oh, is that why you got it there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you do know we are on tape, too.
Oh, whoops.
No,
That's
we're,
okay.
we're fine. Just that sometimes
you're
people.
aware of it.
now everybody in the county
We have-
knows you're
Thank
from
you.
Yuma.
Yes.
Oh, I'm proud of that, so.
I'm sorry.
No.
That's okay. Okay, so
This is hopefully gonna be a Atchison County 4-H public service project. Thank you. I'll have you click again when I do my password. Okay, guess I could have clicked enter. And this is house number signs for rural residents in Atchison
I'm gonna
County.
set this right back here because it is a little touchy, but it does get you where you
Okay,
need
so I
to
just
go.
want to get here. Let's see, house number
See, that's
sign
not smart.
examples. There we
Michelle,
go.
Michelle Mop.
please.
So I have a friend who is the brother-in-law of Jack's friend that
Yeah, I
lives
think it's better than
in
you.
Platte
Yeah, it's fine.
County.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And he sent me pictures of his house number sign, which is provided by their fire protection district.
That would be Jim.
Norwood.
Norwood. okay.
Right, so here, I guess that's all you really need to see there. People have the choice of having them horizontal or vertical. So this is an example of a vertical sign. Now, let me show you. Here we go. This is what started this whole project.
Michelle. Got a blue light blinking up there on the camera, which has never been before. Is
I
that
don't know if I
light?
can enlarge that.
Unless it's the light, I don't know if you want
I'm gonna try
Am I
this.
able just to put this one on the screen by itself? Anyway, this is firefighter Bill Andre, and this was 2 years ago. He did a fire safety
Nothing showing up on the
education
screen.
program in St. Benedict Catholic School. They do it in all of the schools, in all of the fourth grades in Atchison County, but this just happened to be at St. Benedict Catholic School. My daughter Nora won junior fire chief. She earned it. And through that program, we learned that we needed to have our house number sign visible from the road, which we did not and actually still do not. So, from learning that we needed a sign, I started calling all the different stores in Atchison to buy a sign. And no one in Atchison sells them. However, in my drives to Kansas City, where my mother-in-law lives, I noticed the green and white house number signs throughout Platte County. So I texted Jim Norwood, he sent me a picture of his sign, told me he got it from the fire protection district. I called the fire chief, Lynn Johnson, who came over here last year and addressed the commission meeting, and found out all the details of their program. This is Nora Caldwell, so she's really this instigator of this whole hopeful public service project. So I have worked up some documents. I think that will be them. And I can email you guys these so that you don't have to just see them on the screen. But Michelle, am I able just to get that on the screen by itself?
You should be able
And
to
double click.
Just click it? Okay. Nope.
go back over to your little blue box and double click the little blue box. And it may come back.
On the upper right of the email, there's the little arrows, the two arrows.
Right by the X.
Go down to the right. No,
Over
to the right.
other.
To the
Clear
to the
over on
right. Clear to
Oh,
the right.
sorry.
There
Okay.
you go.
Right there.
There.
What does that do?
Oh, good. Okay, so I've composed this. Minutes matter, seconds save lives. Please prevent tragedy and heartbreak. Please protect your life and the lives of your family. Safeguard your home and your belongings. Atchison County 4-H announces Public Service Project 911 house number signs for Atchison County rural residents. In order for emergency crews to reach any home, they must be able to see the entrance to a driveway at any time, day or night. Even in today's day and age with computers, GPS, and cell phones, it's not enough to have only a physical address. There are multiple roads and driveways leading to fields to give farmers access for their equipment and implements. There are roads and driveways leading to abandoned farmsteads. Actual occupied homes need house number signs at the base of their driveways to allow emergency crews quick, efficient access. No matter the emergency, medical, fire, criminal, or other, minutes matter. Seconds save lives. Atchison County 4-H is making ordering, production, and installation of 911 house number signs available at cost to all rural residents of Atchison County who need them. The signs are large, reflective, and visible from both sides, allowing for easy identification day and night. The address signs are available to be installed on anything wood, metal, or plastic, providing the sign will be located at the base of one's driveway. If residents do not have something to attach the sign to, metal T-posts will be available to purchase at cost, or residents are welcome to provide their own metal T-post. Residents will have the choice of a horizontal or vertical sign. Please see sample order form on reverse side. Applications for the signs are located at all public libraries and all grocery stores in Atchison County, and various businesses and restaurants of all towns within Atchison County. The sooner the signs are ordered, the sooner they may be installed. Signs will be ordered and assembled by Atchison County 4-H members and their families, and will be installed possibly by the Atchison County Road and Bridge Department. I just got off the phone with Seth Howard. This program has the backing of all Atchison County Rural Fire Districts, Atchison County Emergency Medical Technician Agency, Atchison County Road and Bridge Department, Atchison County Emergency Preparedness Agency, Atchison County Commissioners, and the Atchison County Sheriff's Department. I should say Atchison County 2016, 2017 Commissioners. Not 2017, 2018. Atchison County 4-H thanks Sebas Brothers Hardware of Weston, Missouri for ordering the signs and for providing them at cost. Orscheln's of Atchison for providing the T-posts and mounting hardware at cost. Poor Richards of Atchison, Tanya Andre, proprietor, for the production and cost of the house number, sign information, and applications. To all grocery stores, public libraries, various businesses, and restaurants throughout Atchison County for the distribution and collection of applications. Special thanks to Bill Andre for the fall 2015 Fire Safety Awareness Education Program in St. Benedict Catholic School, which got this whole public service project rolling through then 4th grader and Atchison Aviators 4-H Club member Nora Caldwell, who won the title of SBCS Junior Fire Chief, and for the help of West Platte Fire Protection District and West Platte Fire Protection District Fire Chief Lynn Johnson of Weston, Missouri, for her invaluable help in sharing ideas and resources of their successful 911 house number sign program. And I just said for questions to contact me. So, minutes matter, seconds save lives. Be safe, be prepared, order your 911 house number sign today. And here's another document, which is the flip side of this document. Oops. And there we go, double click. Come over here, see how quick of a learner I am.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Here's the proposed application, and again, I'm putting sample on the top of both of those. And I propose that we put these on colored paper to catch people's eyes. Minutes matter, seconds save lives. Atchison County 911 house number sign program, a public service project of Atchison County 4-H. And then the application name, address, phone number, number of signs ordered. They are going to cost $10.64 each. That is cost. We have to order them a minimum of 40 signs or more. They have gone up from last year. They were $7.50. Now they're $10.64. Now that's without tax. And if we go through Atchison County 4-H, and I'm not sure how that'll work, but if we go through the 4-H, it can be tax-free, and probably if we go through the commissioners, it would be tax exempt. But we'll have to, provide that to the Sebas brothers. And then it just says sign to be placed at the base of the driveway, sign to be mounted horizontally, vertically, type of existing post to be mounted on wood, metal, plastic. Now the T-post cost at Orscheln's, now this is retail, is $3.29. The manager wasn't in for me to ask him if we could get them at cost. So that is retail, and I left that on there because by the time we get hardware, and it's going to depend, the hardware that we use is going to depend on the material that we put it on. I figured it would be around $3.29. So.
Now, is that on top of the 1064?
Correct.
That is on top of it.
Mm-hmm. The sign itself costs $10.64. And that is Sebas Brothers' cost, with shipping figured in, because they have to pay the manufacturer shipping, I guess. At this point, I have, please make check payable to Atchison County 4-H. And people have the option to pay by check or cash. Now, I still need to talk to all the public libraries, the grocery stores, whatever businesses and restaurants we might want to approach about that, about having the applications available. But I figured if the information was on one side and the application was on the other side, that would be nice and efficient. Last year, there was talk of looking into a grant to pay for these in full or in part. That has not been pursued to my knowledge. I do have the name of a grant writer through Jim Norwood that I could approach to see if we want to go that route. And then we talked about having them mandatory. But then we also talked about them being optional. So I'm just here to, revisit you for the first time, Commissioner Bauer. But it's a fantastic, program, or it could be. It's a huge need. I wish Seth Howard was here to echo that sentiment. But
Here, this is basically what you're looking at. I got
wow.
I got that in the mail through the fire district. I used to be and just got it about 2 months ago, and I thought, I heard you were coming to our meeting, so I just thought I'm going to slip that into my.
Super. Wow. Save time, save lives. 911 reflective. Wow. Is this?
So it's exactly what you were talking about, and I thought, well, I didn't know if there'd be a different vendor or something that you could utilize with that, and so I just thought I would show it to you and.
Okay.
And,
20 number packs. Your cost is only $410. Will somebody multiply 1064 times 40, please? And where is this? Where are these?
1064 times
so
40?
These guys are out of Ohio. I kind of like going through Sebas Brothers in Weston. They're kind of our neighbors. And
that was 1064.
1064 times 40.
Be $425.60.
Oh, okay. So it's
It's
more
higher.
expensive than these. And this says fantastic fundraiser. See, we were
Doing it
thinking
at cost.
of just doing it as a public service project.
Right. So I just brought that just as a.
I'm
That's
glad you did, because we talked about, or at least Seth and I did, about having postcards sent to all the rural residents.
you may keep that. I mean, I
Thank
don't
you.
need it. So
Okay.
that might give you an idea of
That
something.
is perfect. We might reword it a tiny bit, and at this point, it's not a fundraiser. I guess it could be, but I don't think it's really the goal of the 4-H to have it be a fundraiser. We just want it to be a public service project. But it's rather large, a large project. I don't know how many rural residents there are.
Oh, we
Seth
had
was
that-
going to find out for me. I'm guessing like 5,000 or 6,000, but
Well, I know
I-
EMS has had some challenges finding
yeah,
addresses,
yeah.
and it does probably would save lives in the right circumstance.
And that's our ultimate goal, is to save lives.
Are we done
Oh,
with that now? I was going to
Am I
say.
out of time?
No. I was more
Okay.
about turning the lights on. Is the only thing.
No, I think we're done. I think I showed you
Okay.
everything I have. So,
No, I wasn't trying to hurry you at all. I was
no.
just at
So
the.
I'll be happy to email you those documents, all of you, and if
Josh
you.
left that light is on.
Wow, that looks almost like my exact presentation.
I think when the
I
light's
had
now it's on
showed the
again.
The Norwoods.
I think that's on a battery pack when it's blinking.
Emergency response professionals.
I think that's
Tell us they wish
on
everyone
with
had
this
a
light.
911
We shut it
address.
off. It's on the batteries. That's the reason it's
Package
more
number
interesting.
Bet you're
Oh,
right.
no,
Turn the power
50.
off of it.
Sign
So
blanks.
just another learning experience.
Oh,
But
my.
as soon as we turn the lights on,
This is
but no,
actually
it would be
a
fine.
deal.
It's recording.
Yeah.
It was just
On the battery.
yeah.
This.
I thought about moving the mic over closer to her, but I don't know
Oh,
how
I
much cord
speak
we
loud
got.
enough. I bet I'm coming over.
We're
This
gonna talk about
actually
that
is
yet today.
50 signs in a pack for $410. Which, I mean, it
Of course,
might
it's
not
plus
make it.
shipping, so
So
You have to pay the
shipping's on
freight,
top of that?
Yeah.
Which
probably
freight might
$30,
be.
$40, yeah.
Yeah, because they're heavy, especially if there's 50 of them in a pack.
I think you need to emphasize that there is no middleman. This is at cost, and where you say make checks payable to 4-H,
Uh-huh.
some people might think, well, now how much are they getting off of this?
Oh, yeah, well, so I did, okay.
I think that would need to be featured. That this is a service
At cost.
project.
At
Yeah,
cost.
at cost. This is a service project, and I would probably at the initial start off as voluntary, and
Okay,
that's just my opinion. I think as soon as you start something and you say it's mandatory, you get resistance.
okay.
And I think if you started the program off as voluntary and people see what it is, see it's not, outlandish or, asking for a lot of anything, then they may see the results, and they might be more apt to be receptive if we eventually would make it mandatory. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Hopefully, we'll get a big percentage that will volunteer and do it. If we do not, we've accomplished nothing.
We want one. We want our lives protected and our property protected. I'm a little embarrassed to let you know that 2 years later, we still don't have one.
Well,
But we were kind of hoping to do it through this. However, on Saturday, we will have purchased one. I don't know when we'll get it up. Hopefully we'll get it up within the week. But I was hoping that we could have the Globe come out. I contacted the Globe. They'll run an article, obviously. This is a public service project. I talked to CARE. They'll give us some airtime. But I was going to have Nora maybe stand there with the sign once it's up and say, you know, she's really how this all got started, and then say that they're available, and you know, and have this, maybe not this long, but maybe this long, and then have the sample application right there in the paper. And then we'll be able to list the specific restaurants and businesses that the applications will be available at.
You may bring up that story because I can relate to it. We were both substitute mail carriers at times, and there's times when I would write a number in a box. You come back a week later, it'd be scratched out. People don't want any information.
Oh.
And you brought that up.
Yeah, last year at that, because I was amazed. Sometimes it was the next day.
Yeah.
They would either scrub it or spray paint the whole inside of the lid to get rid. It's like they wanted to be
Completely
no identifying
anonymous. Yeah,
marks
completely
on the
anonymous.
premises.
Right.
And it's surprising, and I think that's where you would really run into a certain percent that would want that. But
Hey,
also by project,
free will.
by just by elimination, when you would be out on the mail route, or when I was firefighter, you would go down the road when someone would have their property marked. You knew then the next one was right down, you know, you knew which direction was the higher numbers or the lower. At least you had things to go by. So if not everyone was marked, it really helped finding the correct location by, if you had 2/3 of them marked, it would help you out. So every time you can get a percent more that have them identifying marks there, then you can tell, well, the next driveway is more likely to be, even if it's not positively marked.
But the next driveway may not be to a house.
That's true.
Right?
It's not, no, I'm not, I'm just, it was an assistance, but it was definitely not. I think we got into the weeds last time we talked about some of the stuff. Some of these have a private drive with maybe 2 or 3 houses
Yeah.
on a private drive, and I think that's where you start talking about making it mandatory. You're going to start getting into those issues.
Vacant homes.
Vacant homes, and
Yeah.
so.
Now, on the flip side, we received a postcard saying, please mark your mailbox. I marked our mailbox within probably, you know, the next 3 or 4 days. I went and got big. So there are those who aren't going to cooperate, and there are those who are going to be glad to cooperate.
And this is outside the city limits, correct, of the Atchison?
Yeah, that's
It's all
what I
rural.
was thinking. We would concentrate on rural residents. 'Cause
Well, doesn't
I
the
thought-
city
I
of
thought it
Atchison
was-
have their
I thought it
own?
was going to be city. I thought it was going to be countywide.
Well, in this, I only have it rural residents right now, but
Well, don't the city have specifications for
some
how they want their property numbered and
Small numbers.
Yeah,
the numbers
they
and?
would
Well, mine's
Match
numbered
it.
on the house.
Yeah.
So I do have a rural carrier, and he wrote in my mailbox my address, even though it's right on my house.
did what? I didn't hear.
He wrote it on the inside of the
Yeah,
lid.
so,
That's a common thing that.
yeah.
that
I was wondering why
we
you
do,
did that.
They do.
No, I know.
Well, sometimes your mailbox might be at the edge of your property, and somebody from across the road might have one possibly in front of your house
I got
that is
you.
actually goes to across the street. And I know I ran into that, and the one that looked like it belonged to the house
Oh, didn't.
didn't, is
Oh.
where maybe some of these have been placed, you know, from 30 years ago, and they're still in the same spot, but somebody else added one, put the mailbox either before or after where it looked like, so it can be kind of confusing.
Yeah.
We have the same experience on that.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I guess maybe it's up to whether we go through CBIS or whether we go through here. I guess I would be curious to find out what shipping is, but this is in Ohio. CBIS is in Weston.
It was no suggestion, only that I just saw that
Yes,
and I put it
that's
in packet,
exactly-
so I'm not suggesting going with one or the other. I just thought if it's cheaper or there's something that is more attractive, or just looking at the,
Well, and I don't know, I mean, do you think just putting the applications at grocery stores and libraries and,
I think we're gonna have to get
Is enough,
some
or-
publicity through the radio station and the Globe to get a little information, make sure they get the correct information,
yeah.
and
And your
then set some
your
things
members
up.
might want to go out and talk to some of the townships at their meeting.
Oh,
You know, if the townships are behind it, it might help a little
do
bit.
the
too.
townships have meetings?
well, we had the first city county or that county township meeting there, was it March that we had it, which was very successful. And that'd be something really good to bring up, because I don't know when we're going to have the next one, but you know, that could be ongoing, and it could be
Yeah,
sold or explained, and maybe the townships would want to participate in it.
So this would help them for fire and emergencies.
yes. Well, yeah, whatever the emergency is.
Yeah.
And mail
Medical
delivery.
Or if
emergency
someone
or-
just finding their house when you're out looking for it.
Yeah, mail
The
delivery.
best advertisement you could get, which is kind of tough to do, you'll never believe this, but I had a heart attack, and the only way they found me is I had a sign in my mailbox and they knew right where to go. Saved my life.
Wow, yeah,
That would be good, but getting that, you know, actually having that happens.
yeah. For sure.
But I agree with Commissioner Knoll. Voluntary sounds much better than mandatory, and hopefully we'll get a large amount of people to put one up.
I would say that's a good place at least to begin, because, you know, if there was a big, if everybody applied at once, it would be kind of overwhelmed. I think if we would start, maybe get this,
And
may
neighbors
take a
say,
while
where
to
did
get
you
done.
get that? Where did you get that?
Yes, exactly.
I
Sure.
want one.
Or
Well,
exactly, yeah, yeah.
Maybe
You're hoping.
maybe get the post office involved, because you know they give out new house numbers, and it
Oh,
would be
right.
it would be good for them as well, or their carriers.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Could talk to him.
And then what would you do if you already had your numbers, and then a house moves in between 223 and 224? What would you have to start?
Well, there are sign, there should be room when they plot
sign
out.
they
There
allow.
should be, I think there's every so many feet, there would be a number that, well, most of the time they're like, I'm 53, 48, my dad's 53, 21. Everything on one side of the road was odd numbers, west side was even numbers. But see, there's quite, I'm not very far from him, about a city block, but there's a lot of numbers in between.
Okay.
And
So it's not like 1, 2, 3. Most of them are now, you know, have a more complicated system of numbering.
Well, that would be a good problem if we would have that, though.
Over time, some of the signs get knocked down by farm implements or whatever, or maybe, you know, weather kind of takes some of the numbers, so down the road, we'll probably have to, you know, improve them or whatever.
One thing that you're going to have to get out there, the electric companies do not like to have stuff put on their post,
Yes, that's what West Platte told me, you cannot put these on utility poles.
because they'll rip them off.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
so we won't do that. But, so, installation is gonna be kind of an issue, because I'm not sure. I think 4-H'ers will be able to help put the numbers on the signs, because the signs are blank, and you stick the numbers on them. They'll be able to help do that, but I'm not sure how much help we'll be able to get for installation. We'll see.
Well, I think the vast majority of the ones that want the signs will put them up. You are going to have some elderly people
Yeah,
that could need some help, and that might be something
now
that
that would be, yeah.
4-H could come in
Definitely.
and
Yeah, good point. I think the people who are gonna want them put them up themselves, because
there will be a few that
yeah, few that won't be able to. And yes, that would be great for the 4-H'ers to put up those, for those who are unable to themselves. So I need to, you know, work out the details with the extension agents and probably the 4-H County Council, but we can do that.
So what are we needing to do today? That's,
Uh,
I mean, what,
Good question. I guess just, this project had your blessing a year ago. I'm wondering if it still has your blessing, and, I guess if you think to go ahead and make it just a an optional thing, give people a choice if they wanna literally buy in or not. Cause they'll be buying their sign. It would
That's-
definitely be quicker if we just started it like this, rather than waiting to find a grant writer and waiting for the grant to be written and submitted and
You're
wait to hear
asking
back.
basically $15 for a sign.
Exactly.
You know, it sounds like ever use that word no-brainer.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, I mean, I think last year when I spoke to you, I said, is your life worth a medium pizza?
Well, there's gonna be those
Because-
people that Bill said do not want it, they won't want it,
Right.
that's fine.
And that's
yeah.
fine, exactly. But there are those of us who do want them, and
Okay.
we'll get them.
You have my blessing. I mean, I don't know if there's
So
more.
the next step would be get applications to get it out there, or get some, put something on a radio globe, show a picture of the sign, and
I would
Get
think
an article
that's
wrote
a
on it.
starting point. This is a wonderful idea, so I guess I could go talk to the post office. I guess I could talk to the postmaster.
Yeah, probably.
But
that's probably 60, 75 cents a piece, send them out.
Yeah.
yeah, these are nice.
Yeah. Those. Well, they're wanting someone to invest in making a fundraiser on that, you know. But I just brought that because I just thought it was right up this alley, and see what
It
maybe
might
there's
be
some.
the fact that whoever you go with, you say, to get this out, would you furnish advertisements such as postcards?
Oh, yeah, and maybe they do. Maybe
I'm
they
not saying
would.
them, whoever.
Mhm.
They're probably going to say no, but
Thank you for
ask.
saving this. This
Do
is
we
really
have
good.
a
Thank you.
nonprofit or some kind of bulk mailing permit we could help them with?
Well, I would think you do, but
Do we ever
the
send
school
that?
districts do.
Well, we send lots of bulk mail out, tax statements and things like
Oh.
that. I have no idea about pricing.
I just, here they are trying to do this for cost, yet they need money to promote it. It's like,
Yeah.
Did you
and-
ever price any signs where the number's already stamped on versus sticking them on?
No, but
Because
these
the
are,
longevity.
reflective, and they have numbers on both sides of them, and I think maybe West Platte kind of researched the different
And probably
types
a lot
of
more
signs
expensive.
that are out there. West Platte Fire Protection District.
The reflectivity of those signs is really important too. If they stay that way very long. Remember at the township meeting when he was showing the stop signs that they look perfectly fine, and then you got at night and they had lost that reflectivity, and you
Yeah.
couldn't see what they were.
You
So
go by the
and
daytime, you think they're all right.
yeah, they look perfect. They're bright red with the white lettering, but that reflectivity had left, and you couldn't tell what they were at night. So one thing, if you actually use the materials that are approved for that, they should stand up for a long time. Hate to do something and 3 years later we couldn't tell what the signs were.
Exactly. No, I think, I don't know how long West Platte's been doing it, I don't remember. I could find out, but I think they've been doing it a number of years, and they're very pleased with theirs. She did tell me they have to replace some from, being damaged or what have you, but they just replace them, and it's no big deal. But, so I'll talk to the extension agents. I don't envision them wanting to change their minds and change it into a fundraiser. I think we want to keep it a public service project. And in the literature, if that was not obvious enough, that it's at cost, I'll make it more obvious.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tell you another thing that you're going to run into in the rural areas.
Mhm.
Most of the mailboxes are marked. Some of them's up on top, you can see the other way, but some is just on the side where the mail carrier's coming up that route. So you may go by this house and you don't see the number until you come back up this way.
You come from the opposite direction, and that's what these are.
Mhm.
Have to
They're
be placed in
double-sided.
such a place where they can be
Seen
seen
both
on the
ways.
back of the post or the back of the mailbox or on top if it's vertical, where you can actually see. 'Cause a lot of times people will buy one, put it on one side,
Oh,
and you can't see.
Yeah, no, these are double-sided for sure, so.
Okay.
Okay, so, do you want me to email you these documents or not? Yeah, I don't have to.
I'd like to have a copy.
Okay,
So you email to Michelle,
okay.
she'll know all the
I'll
addresses.
do
Yeah.
your email, yeah.
Or mine's, I don't know if our email addresses are on the
All of
website.
them are basically the same, first letter, the first name, and then the last name.
Okay, but if I send them to
To
you.
you, I will be able to, send them to me and I'll be able to forward them on.
Good. So I was, just trying to be efficient and make it a double-sided, and then
Sure.
I don't know about Tanya Andre sponsoring the printing and production. God bless you, because it might be rather pricey, but we'll find out. But we don't have to put 6,000 of these out. We'll just replenish them as we need to. I'm hoping there's a good response, but
She would even be able to do the postcards.
oh yes, she would.
She would probably be able to give you a quote on,
Yeah.
to do, even like by vendor at a time or something, if that would be.
She could address them for you too,
Oh yeah, that would be good.
as long as you have an address list.
Oh
Hmm?
yeah.
As long as you have an address
Oh,
list.
yes.
I'm sure we have one.
Now, is that wouldn't be a privacy thing, would it? To send them out to everybody in the county, just regardless, and,
As long as you have an address list.
oh, yeah, and you guys.
We should be able to.
You could
get
address
something
them
to
to
you
box
guys.
holders and get by with it. couldn't
Oh,
you?
right.
Box holder, yeah, that might be the best.
Nothing else, we can
Be
actually
cheaper
have
too,
you
but-
fill out a, open records request and then we can be able to get your name
Okay.
addresses.
Was Wes here? Did we
Name list.
talk about anything about through the if the EMS could help? I mean, as far as they would love to have it
Yeah.
too. So I don't know whether he could make those addresses available if you need addresses for anything.
But I don't know.
I don't remember if he was here.
The best method I think would probably be to go through the appraiser, because I think they can form queries downstairs and then put just name and address.
I know they
Yeah.
know my address.
Well, I think most of the schools have a community service too. That might be that we can get some school kids involved in putting some signs up for people that need help, as long as they did it correct.
What's that?
We're gonna have to be careful on that too. If they're there at the bequest, well, I guess they would be through 4-H, but we need safety first. I mean, if they're out on a rural road and would get struck by a car, I mean, they
Yeah.
probably need safety vests and things like that
Oh, right.
to protect whoever is going to have the liability of being in charge of them. So,
Yeah.
just
True, yeah, for sure. Thank you.
So where do we live in?
yes.
Okay. Thank you for letting me address you today.
Okay,
Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it. You're welcome. Okay, well, we'll get it rolling, so.
Okay.
Two of you lives in the country. So do you too? Well,
I
maybe
could
you do one
spit
of our-
I could spit to the country from my deck.
Do you
but-
have a reflective sign yet?
I don't have a reflective one.
I have a brick mailbox with a number written in stone, but I was cheap and only did one side because it was $250.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is only less than $15.
So we'll put a $10 one over that $250.
And then I guess I'll just email you.
Not. Because after I had the bricklayers there, 3 of them for a whole day, that's about a $2,000 mailbox.
Yeah.
That was the boss's ideal, and I'm not the
Have the
boss.
snowplow hasn't taken it out yet?
No, and I mean, it looks nice, but, and then we went to the township, or the meeting in, Norm Barr said, if you got a big structure along the road, you're willing to take it out. I thought, oh my God, here we go.
Okay, I had, I guess we're ready to move on.
Yes.
Still on new business, we talked a little bit in the work session this morning about, do we want to make it a policy or anything to have our phones shut off during regular meeting? Or last meeting, I just noticed that we had a lot of phone ringing, and I didn't know whether we would consider that, or what do you guys think?
I think our phones should be off.
Just
I don't
want
even
to.
have mine with me, so
Do we want to just do that as voluntary and not really make a stand on it? And
I think that's voluntary.
I had about 25 last week.
I had several, and
I got it on silent, but it still buzzes, and I'll still look at it. And
play with it, and it's like I had to.
Well,
it's like
Sometimes we're
it's
addicted to that
distracting.
noise, so.
not asleep.
I just looked in my car, so.
It's distracting.
And it's locked.
Now I understand if somebody is expecting, if you're expecting something
Emergency.
emergency, that's fine. That's the reason I hate to make a policy. Then and it's like, well, you're violating policy. But
We probably just need to make our family members aware of the phone number. If push does come to shove, that
Okay, there was one other thing there. We'd talked this morning about the microphone. You didn't think the microphones were
well,
used.
when she had it up there,
Okay.
either she had the volume better or my hearing got a lot better. Because when I went home and I have my volume on like if I'm doing something, a game or something, I can hear it, but I couldn't hear what nobody said. But now today on that, I could hear.
I think there should be a microphone for each one of us and the people sitting at those chairs.
Yeah, I think we definitely need another one there.
If people want to speak from the audience, they should come up and speak.
Come up to
I've even thought of a podium, but I didn't know whether, if somebody from a guest would want to come forward because they're hidden. You can't even get an idea of
We have a
who.
podium right there.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
set it over there or something. Or I don't know.
Yeah.
so.
Come to the podium.
Do you want me to
I don't
ask
know
Wes
what
if we can
what-
do
well,
something?
I don't know what the costs are, but
I don't think like this is expensive itself. I just don't know about how they can
Tie 'em
hook
all
in, tie them together and hook them into multiple.
I will tell you at the city, and we're there in the city meeting today, even with those microphones, if the commissioners don't speak into them,
they're tough.
they're tough to hear. So even getting it in our face may not be as good as we think, but I think if each one of us, if everybody had one, I think the chances of better communication would be better, because it's a waste of time for someone to listen to it if they can't hear it.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's worth. I actually thought on the tape that I could hear all three of us commissioners
Good.
pretty good, but I couldn't hear Pat and I couldn't hear somebody in back.
How high did you have the volume? You must have had it up pretty high.
I had it about halfway
Oh, half.
on the donut. 'Cause it was-
Could we turn the volume up on a recorder? Would that help?
I don't know that there's a difference.
Oh, you could talk to Wes.
Yeah.
Are you going to talk to him about it?
I can
All right.
mention it to
All
him.
right.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm
He
sure.
may-
I'm
he may
sure he's
come to
aware
you.
because I think he views them.
Right. He may come to you just for clarification as far as what exactly, but I'll.
Well, he may have to look into seeing what's available and what he can do. I mean, I don't
Right.
expect it to be done next week, but I mean, this is something that's kind of been having microphone issues since we've had this. So, okay. Any old or unfinished business before the board?
Nothing new on the shepherds. Have you heard?
Mm-mm.
Nothing new.
No.
Okay.
County councilor updates?
The notice to proceed on the roofing project went out, and they were given the authority to start on September 25th. So the last day for work is November 8th. It should be completed. And I didn't know if that went to you all.
Mm-mm. I didn't see anything.
I also still had down about getting an exact date for the joint city-county meeting. I haven't done anything since last week, but I didn't know if I'm supposed to be or whose court that ball is in.
Well, I mean, we had the discussion with Becky and Justin. Was that last? Yeah, that was last week. I know they said they wanted to wait till after the election, but I don't know if there was any. You might shoot them an email and see if they thought any further about it, but it was their turn to host, so I guess they'll be contacting us when they're ready.
Well, they have a meeting on November 6th. I mean, they should be able to maybe determine a date then. Or maybe they have another one in October too. October 16th.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when we was going over the, excuse me, the jail bids, I'm pretty sure I asked Joe if we had any other roofs that we had problems with that we should be considered at that time. And the way I got it, Peggy said this has been quite a while with her roof up there. You know, it looks like if you could get one company in to do 2 or 3 jobs, you'd get a better price. I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure that how much Joe does up
Up
there.
there.
They've got their own maintenance and their own schedule and stuff on there,
That
so
could be true too.
I'm not. here nor there. It's just an observation about.
And we moving the November 13th meeting, does that take a public announcement or?
Yeah, we gotta have it published.
For the K.A.C.
Okay.
Just a reminder on that.
So we're gonna meet on a Monday instead of Tuesday, correct? Because you guys are
Yes.
gone. So that's gonna be,
November 13th. Double check I got everything signed here. Go through all of this. Oh. Did we decide if we want to stay with K Camp or NACO?
NACO.
I move that we approve NACO for membership for
$450.
$450.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded to continue our membership with NACO. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed 3-0.
Okay, would that come out of Commissioner's budget, County General? I don't,
What's the thing on, I think it came out of County General last year. Is there a number written on there?
Right up here.
20, I think that comes out of County General. That's County General.
I don't think our budget's too much, so we should write 2 or 3 checks. We'd be out. I think we're up $2,000 our budget.
That's the one.
Do I need to sign this or is this?
Probably.
I don't believe there is a place that needs to be signed there. Eric, I'll just
Okay.
proceed with the bill.
Okay.
There's this, that one.
Just goes in here. On here.
Okay,
Pass that over to Michelle. Okay, is there any other business to take care of today?
I think next week is a carrot meeting, so I'll be gone. I won't be at the meeting next week. Be the carrot board meeting.
Okay.
So county office is closed next Friday or next Monday? Columbus Day?
No, Columbus Day's not one of the holidays.
Okay. But it is a federal holiday.
It is. Yeah, district court is closed. Okay,
I think banks are closed too.
If there's nothing further, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I
At
second it.
2:22. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Wait, before I forget it, at the meeting last night, the guy at the YMCA encouraged me to encourage all of us to come down and take a tour of the YMCA building. I can't recall his name. You've seen him.
Aaron, yeah, I agree.
Are they having an open house when they open that?
I think so, but the way he insinuated, he would like for us to come down so he could give a personal tour, just 3, 4, 5 of us versus a big group.
Maybe we can arrange it for after the meeting next Tuesday.
Well, I don't know if you're gonna get it arranged that early, but
right.
he did mention that last night, so.
Okay. It's motion on the table, been moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 3-0.
I know these are expensive. I probably didn't pay for them.